When you hear the word Waikiki, what do you think? If what you're thinking is this, then we're on the same page. Paradise is paradise for a reason until you live in it. Today I'll be going over the 5 reasons Ala Wai Mansion is one of the best Waikiki condos to live in. At the end, I'll analyze it through the price buyers purchase it for, even today during the market shift. 1. Location. There's a location of Waikiki and the location within Waikiki. Look at these hotels. What do they all have in common? Walking distance to the beach is the #1 factor and the reason projects like complete streets are starting. With Ala Wai Mansion being within a 1-mile radius and 15-minute walk of central Waikiki, the future looks increasingly walkable, which is great until you need to drive or park. Now this issue increases the closer you get to the center of Waikiki and beach-facing hotels. Ala Wai Mansion is located at the start of Waikiki with multiple streets to enter and a few blocks to exit. It's next to Ala Wai Canal parking and in an area of low-density projects for the highest street parking chances. The trade-off here is proximity from the beach for proximity to outside Waikiki. 2. View and privacy. Speaking of the beach, most know Waikiki only from the beach side, but there's 2 sides to every koan, and on Oahu the difference is Mauka versus Makai. The Mauka side of Waikiki has sweeping views of the Coldwell mountain range, while Makai side has that iconic beach view. Let's relate it to Ala Wai Mansion, a smaller project with 10 floors, 4 units per floor, and 34 units total. The view premium is typically higher floor, diamond head, and beach facing. Since it's a lower floor building with the beachside view blocked, the premium units are those facing the mountain and or diamond head. Units at Ala Wai Mansion have floor-to-ceiling windows and a wraparound lanai that offers stunning views from multiple angles. Now noise is a major issue in Waikiki, but it's not the case with this building. Traffic tapers off at night along Ala Wai Boulevard. It's far from street performer noise along the main Kalakaua Boulevard, and the bedrooms face away from the main street. 3. Accessibility. Waikiki's one-way streets makes driving complicated. The entrance to Ala Wai Mansion comes from 2 different ways, either from the Ala Wai Boulevard for upstairs parking or from Kuamu Street for the downstairs parking. Only the downstairs parking is gated but has a lower ceiling height, so please be careful if you have a truck or SUV. It does not have any guest parking, and while very common for small buildings, makes street parking potential very important. Units here are all 2-bedroom with only 1 parking, further amplifying the parking issue. While common for these smaller buildings, it's a trade-off to seriously consider for livability purposes. 4. Property size. Ala Wai Mansion has 2 different floor plans, 896 and 983 square feet. It's above average for Waikiki 2-bedrooms, which typically range from 700 to 900 square feet. The 2 floor plans are quite similar when considering the layout itself. The 900 square foot version has more of an open concept kitchen, while the 983 version has a galley kitchen and a long entry hallway. The balcony at 250 square feet is one of the largest of any Waikiki buildings and takes full advantage for the views. But with larger sizes come larger maintenance. Most condos in Waikiki range between the $1 and $1.50 square foot per month. Now Ala Wai Mansion is on the lower end at roughly $1. More costly per square foot buildings don't guarantee more amenities, and smaller buildings like Ala Wai Mansion typically have none. Some older condos like this one also includes electricity in the maintenance versus an individual bill. So to do a real maintenance calculation when comparing condos, ensure you compare what the maintenance includes. Ala Wai Mansion comes up closer to 85 cents per square feet when you take out that electricity. Or you can always consult with a knowledgeable realtor. One bonus for this building is additional storage. All units come with their own storage closet right on their own floor. At the size of half of a typical bedroom closet, it's both large and fairly uncommon for Waikiki condos. 5. Property condition. For condos, property condition can be split between the building condition and the unit condition. Now, the majority of Waikiki buildings were built between 1960 and 1970, as Waikiki really developed in that time period, with styles reflecting the sign of those times. Major building issues like elevators, spalling, or pipes start to break down after about 50 years, so you'll really want to ensure a building has a reserve to account for those repairs. Unfortunately, most don't, and why so many buildings end up with a special assessment. Ala Wai Mansion does not currently have any assessments, and the reserves are above 50%, which are typically a sign of a healthy reserve balance. Unit conditions vary depending on what renovations have been done in the actual unit. Since most buildings were built prior to 1978, popcorn ceiling is very common with asbestos present unless they were scraped off. Some buildings have more renovation restrictions, and you'll need to confirm with management to know that. While not specific to renovations, pet-friendly buildings are the minority in Waikiki, and if you have a pet, I know it's priority number one. Well, crisis averted, here it is pet-friendly in this building. Now let's recap these 5 through the lens of price. Location premiums increase the price, and in Waikiki that's closest to the beach and the central Waikiki area, with a lower premium being along that Ala Wai Boulevard area. Would you guys pay a premium for those beachfront views? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. The most expensive units in each building are those that have the best combined view and privacy, and reflected by comparing Unit 204 and 802 in this building. Both units face Diamond Head, with 802 having the premium mountain view. That, combined with a higher floor and renovations, is roughly a 50% price premium of a low 400,000 to low 600,000 in future sold price. Since all units here only have one parking, it's really hard to show the price difference between a second parking stall. Additional parking typically ranges between the 30K and 60K mark. The question for you is really what that trade-off is worth. To give you an idea of what the difference between 750 and 950 square feet is, think of it like this. Would you like space for a dining table, additional cabinets, and larger bedrooms? Typically you see a 10 to 20% price premium due to the increased size. So the question is it worth it to you? You'll have all of that and more at Ala Wai Mansion. Reviewing building finances is one of the most overlooked considerations when buying into condos. It has a significant impact on future pricing, with One Waterfront's assessments really flattening prices since the assessment was made. I'll compare the price difference versus potential cost to renovate, looking at 2 units in this specific building in a future video. But let's start first with showing unit number 901 in this building, a renovated unit with premium views. Make sure to subscribe right now to be notified when it actually drops right here.